Hey, Jake here. First off, thank you for listening to Season 1. That's awesome. As you probably noticed, these episodes have different cover art and go by a different name. What happened is we decided to rebrand to Welcome to GameCorp after Season 1. Don't worry though, Season 1 isn't lacking in quality by any means. In fact, a ton of amazing moments are contained in Season 1, plus you get to meet many of our crazy coworkers for the first time. Thanks again for listening, and welcome to GameCorp.
Head2Head, a video game podcast, is about three rad video game journalists set in the fictional offices of the evil conglomerate GameCorp. The show contains scenes of narrative elements, some mature content, and a whole lot of immature content. Enjoy the show.
Can you guys believe it? After all our hard work this year and playing and battling all these fucking games, the boss is actually letting us go to E3!
I know, right? Not only that, but we're going as VIP press. That means exclusive event access, complimentary water bottles and snacks, and tickets to the secret underground mech warrior fights.
And we're going to be hosting the podcast from the GameCorp booth, so all those adoring fans and hotties in cosplay are going to be begging for our autographs afterwards. This is going to be great.
Well, I'm packed. Y'all got everything you need to go to the convention?
Oh yeah, we got loud obnoxious gamer shirts.
Check.
2.5-gallon jug for water.
Double check.
2.5-gallon jug for piss.
Triple check.
A complete neglect for proper hygiene.
Checking spree.
And excessive hype for announcements that'll just end up being mobile games.
Check a Manjaro.
All right, let's go, boys. E3, here we come.
Yep, just through those doors, and we're on our way to the best day ever.
Hell yeah, and absolutely nothing terrible is gonna happen before then.
Going somewhere, numbskulls?
Oh, hey boss. Yeah, E3?
Interesting. Almost as interesting as what Yesman showed me. A little something called last week's episode, The Sweatpants Chronicles.
Oh, did you like it?
Are you kidding? It was pure slacking off. Even the day was lazy. I didn't force you boys to come in during a crippling outage just for you to sit around in your sweatpants and joke around like a bunch of college Halo bros.
But we couldn't, we didn't have any games or scripts. It was the best we could do.
Shut it, you socks and crocs soccer moms. It's still a whole day of slacking off. It's unacceptable. So say goodbye to your fancy all-expenses-paid trip. Go ahead, say it.
What?
Oh.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All expenses.
Fancy
expenses. Paid
Expenses. Bye.
Bye trip.
Oh, good. You're gonna make it up by working a double shift today.
Man.
Save it. Now turn in your E3 badges and your E3 guns now.
I think he means our press lanyards and our... What? Guns?
Fine. But I'm keeping the katana.
What the hell, dude?
What? I was gonna get him signed by Bayonetta.
Well, boss, somebody's got to be there to run the GameCorp booth.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving your passes to Larry and shipping, and you boys will be supervising all the deliveries today.
But he's not even a journalist.
And he's not lazy either. Well, he is, but yeah, I own one. Yeah, about 1,000 actually. Plus he's got the kids this weekend. Yes, man.
Yes, sir.
Have the menus and shipping. Bring the podcasters' recording stuff down there. Like I said, double shift.
Right away, sir.
You boys better make sure those deliveries are totally reliable, or else you humans are gonna fall flat. Well, you'll fall from the 22nd floor, then you'll be flat. Get it? Oh, lighten up.
I ran back as fast as I could. Did you already threaten their life using a pun?
Yeah, you missed it.
Damn, I always miss it.
You gotta get it together.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the 16th episode of Head2Head, a video game podcast brought to you by GameCorp, the totally not evil video game media conglomerate. Upper management, in their infinite wisdom, has hand-chosen us, a couple of low-level employees with zero experience, to serve as your host on this head-to-head, no-holds-barred matchup between two games to see which will stand triumphant. I'm your host, Cowboy.
I'm Jake.
And I'm JB, a.k.a. Jennifer Blaniston.
Ooh, saucy. All right.
Jennifer Aniston is already bland.
I never age.
Oh my god. All right. Today's battle will be facing off two contenders for the title of Harbinger of Floppy Physics with Humans Fall Flat versus Totally Reliable Delivery Service. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. We're not in the office today.
Nope.
Yeah, we couldn't fit an elephant in our office. I tried.
That's right. We've taken a company trip all the way down to the warehouse where we're going to work and have fun and do a double instead of going to E3, which was our big plans for the day.
Yep, but we decided that we love GameCorp and we love Head2Head, so we would put in the extra effort for you listeners. We didn't even want to go to GameCorp. We wanted to be here making the best podcast we possibly can for you, and that's why we're here.
Let's just put it all past us, guys. Let's forget all about E3, one of the biggest gaming events of the year, which is super relevant to our profession. Let's forget about it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some listener questions. Somebody installed a drop pod in the warehouse, which is super nice and very efficient, very quick of them. So let's go ahead and press the button.
That'll help us get over the E3 we didn't want to even go to in the first place because I hate it and it's stinky. Yeah, push the button.
Incoming pod drop from floor 22.
All right, awesome. I'll go get it. Hey, it's me. I'm really far away. Look at this magic. Okay, I'm back. Wasn't that cool? All right, so let's pop it open. And this round of listener questions is brought to you by Kid Time Chicken Yum Yums. Now with some protein. What was it before? So this listener question comes in from Veronica S. When was the last time you were hyped for an E3 announcement? Well, I guess we are talking about it. All right. So, when was the last time you guys were hyped, truly hyped for an E3 announcement?
It's been a long time. Definitely not today. Definitely not less than an hour ago. I can say that. It's probably been at least 40 years, probably.
I mean, in recent history, the only thing I can think of is WoW Classic. I mean, that was just such a big moment for me. I mean, it was like my like nostalgia overload, and just being like, yes, the games of my past that were amazing are coming out again. And I don't think I've ever been so hyped for an E3 announcement, because it's usually games I don't play or sequels to games I've never played, or just nonsense. Like I don't know, but WoW Classic for sure was a big one.
And I mean hype, for me, because I don't do any pre-research, hype comes from watching it. Because sometimes and I never plan anything. I'm never like, oh, E3's coming up, I'm going to watch it, this and that. I usually just get a notification or like a tweet, and I'm like, oh, E3's today. And I'll just pop on. But sometimes, yeah, some of the games build a lot of hype. I was watching, what was I watching today? I was watching the Game Fest today, dude, and they got a new Borderlands coming out. I know that's not technically that E3, but, I didn't even know that was happening, and boom, hype. So I'm sure that's happened for E3. I don't know, Jake, what about you?
All right, y'all. I'm going to take you on a journey because I do get excited every year for E3, and I do, I try to watch the best I can, but it's mostly I'm catching through like review threads, things like that. I'm catching the videos after the fact.
Yes.
But the one thing that I did get to catch was one of my most anticipated like games in a long, long, long time. Let me take you in the Wayback Machine all the way to the year 2015. Now, to set the stage, in 2015, it has been absolutely forever since a Fallout game has come out. And by that, I mean, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years. It's been since New Vegas.
Yeah.
And Bethesda was radio silent about anything that had to do with a new Fallout game. They would not talk about it. They would not release anything. There were no teasers. There was no, hey, we're working on this. No, nothing. Absolute radio silence. They had no hype driving except for the fan base, which was ravenous for a new one coming off of, New Vegas. So it's Bethesda's conference 2015. They go on, they do a little like thing, and then Todd Howard, that's his name, right? Todd Howard goes up on stage and starts talking about it. And he just gets right into it. It was to the effect of like there was nothing like there's no game there's few games that are as big and prominent or as important in the scene as Fallout. And then boom, Fallout pops up and everyone's like, oh my God, they're finally going to talk about it after like all this time of radio silence. And then what we got was 30 minutes of not just, concept designs and stupid little trailers and things like that. They went in. There was game footage. There was like really breaking down how it was different, the setting, how the Pip-Boy was different. And they showed all this cool stuff to introduce characters, introduce like game mechanics, all this cool shit. And after half an hour of just spilling the beans of everything to do with this game, Mr. fucking Swagger himself just stares at the audience and goes, oh yeah, by the way, it's dropping in like 5 months. And everyone goes crazy. And it was the best announcement that I've ever really seen at E3. Waiting so long for a game. And when we finally get not just a taste, but a big chunk of it, him saying, oh yeah, by the way, you're not going to have to wait fucking years. It's releasing in November of this year. People lost their minds. And I still kind of get chills like thinking about it because no huge title like that does that. And I think they tried one more time with Fallout 76, which, mixed reviews. But, yeah, nobody at E3 does that shit. They don't stay radio silent. They don't like hold it all in until they're ready to like release it, except for like indie stuff. And that will probably always be my favorite E3 moment until I guess the next big time that somebody else does that. But I absolutely love that moment. And I think E3 is a really exciting time. And it generates a lot of buzz every year about the gaming industry as a whole. Now, JB, let me ask you. So with WoW Classic, I remember when that happened. Were you watching did you say were you watching the live stream when it happened?
No, I've never seen any of the live streams. I've always watched it on like YouTube clips and stuff. So, because the live stream, it's always a bunch of stuff I don't care about, and then a couple minutes of things I do. So I usually scroll through like the YouTube channel and find clips on what I want to actually. Reels. Yeah.
Did you play it like at the midnight launch of WoW Classic? Were you there?
No, not the midnight launch. I played it the next day because boss said I had to be at work in the morning.
Oh, sure. So, sure.
I had to get some sleep. But I originally, and I got this approved, I was going to spend a week. I was going to take an entire week off to play the game. But that got denied eventually.
Oh, that's sad. You should have just quit your job like I did when when I played Fallout 3. Well, dude, okay, so let's address this too. Everybody knows who listens to this show, we record in advance. Like, this takes a while to get this stuff out. So we don't get to like break news or anything on this show. But today, like the day that we're recording this, there were a lot of announcements from Sony going on. Cowboy, can you tell us about the one that got you hyped? It was the one of Tiny Tina's one for like Borderlands, right?
Yeah. It was, I want to say it's Wonderland. It was so weird because when it popped up, I wasn't even sure that it was Borderlands because it was Wonderlands. And for a minute, I was like, okay, I mean, that has lands in it, but what if it's not? But then Tiny Tina jumps up and like scribbles something across the screen. And she's like the best part of that game. One of the best part of that game.
I agree.
And so that was cool, like getting that confirmation. But I'm stupid because there was one before that. Butt Stallion was in it. They're fighting this big monster. Do you guys remember the pony that Handsome Jack named Butt Stallion? Butt Stallion, the freaking unicorn, is in there, and he delivers like the final blow on the boss that's being fought in the trailer, and it's like shooting this beam. And it is actually pretty hype because the names that got dropped. All right, let me tell you these names. So there's Andy Samberg, Wanda Sykes, Will Arnett is in there. Like, it's got a crazy cast of people. Like, and those are names I'd never, like Wanda Sykes, like Andy Samberg, I'd never expect them to be in Borderlands. So,
no, wait. Is this the game or is that the movie?
No, this is Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's
So
not
they're
even
going to be in the
movie.
game. Okay. Because I know they were doing a Borderlands movie with a bunch of fucking people in it. But
Which is weird because I've looked at that and I swear it's all like older people. Like even
it is.
the woman playing who's the one Moxie is played by like a 40-year-old woman and stuff, and some of the other ones are like upper 30s and 50s, and I was just like, wow, okay.
Are you saying 40 ain't sexy?
I think she was.
How old do you think Moxie is?
I didn't think she was like 45. Maybe she is.
Could be.
Maybe Borderlands is like a game where everyone's prematurely aged, but it's like a young, exuberant game. I would feel like the cast would be young and full of like, Vault Hunter, Wanderlust kind of stuff.
I mean, if you go too young, you're just falling into like a Dragon Ball situation, though.
Oh, God. Never. But I think some people are talking and they think maybe it might even be like it's definitely got D&D elements because she threw 20-sided dice at the screen. I think at the end of the trailer. If I can pull it up, I can see, but I am fairly certain she like chucked dice. So it's got an RPG, fantasy, D&D kind of feel to it. And I mean, is Borderlands still good? I think I played a bit of 3. JB, Jake, did you guys play 3?
I played 3. It was, it was exactly what you expect, and I think they improved on a lot from 2, as far as the combat felt a little bit better. The characters were funny. I don't know. Borderlands is hard because it's just it's such a good game for what it is, but it is what it is, Like you go in expecting a certain thing and that's what you get. So there's no surprises. And I don't know if this new one is going to do that.
Like sometimes they get all their staples down and there's so much good gaming content that you absorb it all and you got no room left in you. Even if it's like eating 3 chocolate cakes in a row. Even if you can make an immaculate 4th cake, I can't eat any more chocolate. And I'm worried that's how I'll feel about Borderlands. So hopefully the RPG elements shakes it up. Could ruin it though.
It could, but I think a series like Borderlands definitely needs some innovation to it.
Yeah.
They found the perfect mix of what they do. They found their little slice of perfection. And then, if perfect is always perfect, it's stale. So let's hope that this brings some, a breath of fresh air into the Borderlands franchise. I'm excited for it. When you told me about it today, that sounds super cool.
And it would be really cool. I don't know that I absorbed that it's going to be a first-person shooter. I assume that it's going to be a looter shooter, but who knows? Maybe it'll have different elements. Borderlands has always been like Diablo's gun version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, maybe it's just going to be tweaked over to Diablo a little bit, but I doubt it'll be like an isometric game.
It would be cool if they just went a completely different direction, and just said, "We're trying something. Let's see if it works."
For it. I hope they do that.
The games are funny and they're fun and they got good content. There's no reason they have to hold on to the format of a looter shooter. They can take that stuff elsewhere because they're creative enough.
Yeah, take some risks. I think it'll pay off. They're good developers. They have the games are great. There's nothing wrong with them really. I couldn't list 10 negatives about Borderlands. I might be able to do 2 or 3, but they're so minor that it's whatever. But I think they've just they're trying not to fly too close to the sun, and because of that, they're in a boat right now. And I think, hey, fly a little bit, man.
Yeah, that metaphor totally stuck with me. I know. But I know what you're saying at the heart of it.
All right, there you have it, Veronica. Borderlands. Is it stale? Is that the question you asked? I don't know anymore. Anyway, that's the end of listener questions because we hit you pretty hard with them last week. Let's go ahead and move on to...
That's pretty funny.
What? Who are you?
I'm Larry. I supervise the deliveries. The boss told me to fill you guys in before I head out.
Oh, right. Larry. Larry, the imposter who took our tickets. Spot stealing Larry, who gets to go to E3 and we don't. Good old backstabbing thief of the night Larry, if that even is your real name.
Don't mind him. I think he's just angry because you're replacing us at E3. Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. But my kids do a gaming podcast, and I heard that attending E3 can really rocket them to stardom.
You just keep twisting that knife, don't you, Larry?
All right, so what's all this entail? What do we got to do down here?
Well, it's pretty simple this week. You gotta load up all those boxes that go on the GameCorp Big Rig. The minions will take care of the rest. Oh, right. I was wondering what's with all the crates. I just figured it was like a Indiana Jones reference or something.
Things don't just exist for references, cowboy. Hey, what's with those big padlocks?
Oh, those could only be opened with the golden keys from the vending machines. Whoa, gold keys? That's fancy. So they must be full of, like, rare collectibles or something. Nope, actually 99.9% of them are filled with junk.
What? Why even lock them up then?
Well, 'cause they're loot boxes.
Loot
Loot boxes?
Did someone say loot boxes? All right, boys, key C minor.
Who said that?
Oh, right. We're supposed to tell you about the minions, but it looks like they're about to tell you themselves through the art of song.
Smashy, crashy, punch 'em in the spleen. You're about to meet our delivery team. Batty, waddy, bash 'em in the knee. We've got an evil marketing scheme. What do you get when you microtransact? Spending real money on RNG crack.
Single player experiences to Peter Bar.
But games as a service sure makes us hard.
Sorry about that. They watch a lot of Glee. They're a bunch of theater weirdos, if you ask me.
Well, we didn't. Now make them give us those chocolate bars.
No, they're minions, JB. It's a clear legal distinction.
It's all right. He's just hangry and angry. It's this thing where being hungry makes him angry, and then being angry makes him more hungry. It's a vicious cycle, you know? I see. Well, I'm gonna go do all the fun things you were gonna do. Have fun doing my job. Yep. Have a good time, man. No hard feelings.
I'll kill you and eat the body.
Okay, let's bring it back down. Let's calm down. Let's get it back on track. You guys,
Yeah, JP.
how about some trivia? How about some trivia, baby?
Hey, I'm down for trivia.
Those have always worked out so well and proven our vast knowledge of video games. Let's do it.
Oh, this one. Hey, this one's a little different. This
Oh.
one might not depend on your knowledge of trivia or knowledge of gaming too much. But let's see how it goes. All right, let's do it. You guys know. Come up with your buzzer.
Rogan
Okay.
from Age of Empires.
That's good. I'll go. Boop.
Okay. All right. Here we go. First
From
one to buzz in answers. And of course, the next person can always take it too, because the points don't matter. Here we go. All right. This trivia is game review trivia. That is, these were taken from the review sections of video games. I'm going to read the review. You guys are going to guess what game they're reviewing.
Oh, that's
Neat.
fun.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
that.
All right. Review number 1. This comes in from somebody called Ribbon. This game turned me into a furry. Now it's time to install questionable, not so safe for work mods.
Boop.
JB.
I think this must be Skyrim.
Ding,
with
ding, ding.
Khajiits.
Ding, ding, ding.
Really?
Point for JB. That's right. Yeah, that was a review for
Oh.
Skyrim.
The
All right.
moment you said mods, I should have known. The Khajiit are cat
That's
people.
right. Yes,
that
they
are.
are.
Just, they make them so sexy in Skyrim. Skyrim's hot. I should have known.
Yeah, I always like the sexy lizards.
God, they make them so sexy, too.
lizards.
That's not a.
Sexy
that doesn't make you.
cats.
You're not
Sexy drow.
Sexy
You're
mud
not a
crabs.
furry if you're into
Get
the
outta here.
lizards. If
All
you're
right.
into Argonians, you're a scaly.
You
'Cause that's the
cannot
texture.
discount the lusty Argonian maid. There's like 9 volumes in the game. Okay.
It's just not called fur. It's called scaly.
Okay. Here comes review number 2. This is from I'm with Stupid. Playing around in multiplayer, some guy shoots a gun at me, but what comes out? Bullets? No. money. Thought it was awesome. Got on the next day.
Rogan?
Cowboy.
Shit, I didn't know it wasn't over. Rogan.
Oh, you haven't learned your lesson yet.
No, I thought I heard a period. He shoots money. It is, what is the name of that game? It is, I'm going to say it's Gary's Mod.
Incorrect.
Dang.
I'm going to keep reading.
All right.
No. What comes out? Bullets? No. Money. Thought it was awesome. Got on the next day. Guess what? I got banned. Not worth the money.
Boop.
Yeah.
GTA 5.
That's right. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh. What? I'm the best. I'm going to win. I'm going to win one of these.
What do you mean he has a gun that shoots money?
That is.
I don't know. I just thought about people getting banned.
That's 2-0. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here comes.
What is going on?
Oh, no. I remember this now because there was this string of hackers where what they would do is they would hack it so they could put money all over the ground and they wouldn't get any, so they wouldn't be banned. The people who picked it up would be banned.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of hacking going on in the multiplayer for GTA 5, and then they dropped the ban hammer, and a lot of innocent people were getting swept up in it. Okay, so review number 3 comes in from Mochan N7. It's like buying a Happy Meal, and the only thing included are the fries. You gotta pay for the nuggets, the drink, the sauce, and the toy separately. Classic EA. Boop. JB.
Battlefront.
Incorrect.
Boop. No, not Boop. Rogan.
Cowboy.
EA Sports. Madden. One of the Maddens.
Incorrect. This review comes from The Sims 4, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know the
Weird.
exact figure, but as of right now in The Sims 4, if you bought every single DLC, you'd be out like $800.
Oh, but The Sims 4 is not the fries. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. Sims 4 is like the entire restaurant. But if you want to go outside the restaurant, then you get mods. Like if you want to bring your dog into the restaurant, then you got to buy the dog mod. But you get the whole restaurant still. This guy.
Is this service dog mod?
Yeah, the pets and checks.
Pets and checks. The Pets and Checks mod, only $39.99.
The only one that matters, Sims 3, just the hot date mod. That's all you need, baby.
Ow! All right. So, review number 4. This one is from The Battle Took One Turn. All right. Okay, I'm sorry. He's the main review. I actually collected 3 different reviews. So, let's hear these. Let's hear all 3 before you guys buzz in.
Okay.
All right. I had a controller. My wife left me. And Firekeeper wouldn't go out with me when I gave her the eyes of her sister. What the fuck? There's a big hint in that.
It's the
Is
name
that the
of
last
somebody.
one? Like, can I boop?
That was all 3, yeah.
Oh, boop. Boop. Dark Souls.
Ooh, okay, so which one?
2.
I'm sorry, you cut out. You say 2?
I said 2.
Oh,
Dark Souls 2.
No, incorrect. Cowboy, you want to swoop it up? You got an easy one. Come on, there's only you got a what is it? 50-50 chance now.
And I've played both of them, but it's still a 50-50 shot. Boop, Rogan, Joe Rogan, Dark Souls, period.
Incorrect.
Nope, it's 3.
It's Dark Souls 3.
I knew it.
It's still 2-0. All right.
You could have had it.
You could have had it.
You know, if
I held it for a while.
Cowboy, you had to metagame it, because if it was just Dark Souls 1, he would have just given it to me. But when he asked which one, then it means it's not original Dark Souls.
Holy
so it had to be 3.
Crap, it wasn't a 50-50 shot at all.
It was 100%.
I miss 100% of the shots I take.
Okay, here it comes. Review number 5.
Oh, no.
This one is actually from a website where kids review the game. I was about to say the name of the game.
Okay.
So there's a website out there that actually allows kids to review games, and parents use it as a resource. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here it is. Not good. Bad. I do not like it. It is all about violence, killing, and can lead kids to being violent towards others and may teach them bad things such as shooting people.
Okay. Rogan.
Cowboy.
Halo?
No, incorrect.
Boop.
JB.
Okay, I'm thinking that this is like something that's like whatever, and that's why it's funny. So it's gotta be like Lego Star Wars.
That is incorrect. It's actually Fortnite.
Oh, of course
it is.
Of course it's Fortnite.
It was either Fortnite or Roblox. Like, it was one of those two. 50-50 shot.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, I don't let Jack play Fortnite, and I probably never would. Not because of the shooting, but because of the building.
Yep.
I've never actually tried Fortnite. I'm not
No
really
kid of
good
mine
at
is gonna be a
competitive shooters,
carpenter.
so.
Yep.
Okay, here comes review number 6. Is it still 2-0? I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
think it's 1-2.
You did not get any.
No, you haven't got any yet. Okay, here comes review number 6. This comes in from Fear the Reaper. All right. There's big hints in this. The game is basically robots, Smurfs, and humans being given immortality by a giant ping pong ball in order to fight the forces of evil geometry.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, please.
The game is basically robots, Smurfs, and humans being given immortality by a giant ping pong ball in order to fight the forces of evil geometry. Oh, I bet there's listeners at home just squirming in their seats right now.
Rogan.
Cowboy.
Is it Pac-Man?
It is not Pac-Man,
Aw.
no.
That's funny because that's actually what I was thinking.
Of course.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was thinking Pac-Man. Okay, forces of evil, geometry, robots, Smurfs,
There's no robots in Pac-Man. What is wrong
and
with me?
humans. Robots, Smurfs, humans, ping pong ball, geometry. What are you doing over here? This is you're just being silly. This is not a game that exists.
All right.
Can I get a 2-guess handicap because I'm losing so bad?
I'll give you my guess.
His guess, Rogan, is Destiny.
You know what? I will give you double points if you can guess which one.
2.
Ding. Ding.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Process of elimination!
It's just tied up. It's 2-2. Ooh. And this is the final review of the night. Y'all get your buzzers ready.
You messed
If I
up,
lose
JB.
this, I am never doing anything nice for you again, Cowboy. I hope
messed
you
up.
realize
You just
this.
gave the game to him. All right, get your buzzers ready.
No, I was going to give him 1 point. You gave him double.
I did,
and
to
you
make it
said
exciting,
which one
because it's
when
my
we
trivia.
know you wouldn't say that
It's
if it
my
was the
trivia.
first one.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Gave it to him.
I think I'm just making it exciting. Okay, here we go.
It is exciting.
The final question of the night. Get those buzzers ready, because here it comes. I'm gonna cap cum. Boop. JV.
The new Resident Evil.
Ding, 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 ding,
No,
ding.
I was laughing!
Oh,
Boom.
JV
Boom.
wins. JV
Boom.
wins. You win your
Yeah,
first
yeah.
trivia of
Yeah.
the entire podcast. Woo.
Hey,
Oh my god.
You know what you
Yeah.
win?
Easy clap.
Your 2021 Honda Odyssey, baby. I got it outside for you. This one was serious, man. We got so many sponsors, so much money just, going around. 2021 Honda Odyssey. All right, that's actually it.
Why did I get
For
a
trivia.
hammer and
That's
he
it.
gets
I can't
an
believe you
Odyssey?
won. I can't believe you won. That was great.
I did it. I'm so happy.
I mean,
I'm also really angry and hungry.
you won by like 3 points in all of reality.
Yeah, that's
know
the
why
first
you were so
fair
good at
and
that.
square.
I have no idea why you were just so good at that. You could just hold all the words in your head and put it together like a fucking jigsaw puzzle. I hate you.
Someone says come, I think giant vampire ladies.
I can't believe that wasn't a fight. Like, I thought it was going to click instantly with both of you.
I just kept picturing my mailman, so. Not that he's related, I just, like, got a package and there was...
Call him Cap.
Yep.
He's got a cap on.
Strong jaw.
Did I say strap on? Cap on. He's got a... Yeah, I said cap on.
Oh, Cap. I mean, he's in our hearts.
It's me, your mailman.
No. So many tail engines. Congratulations, JB. I think you earned it. Enjoy your goddamn Honda Odyssey. Congratulations, JB. I think you earned it. Well done.
Of course I earned it. Now, before we move on, we here at Head to Head, a video game podcast, don't believe ourselves to be the end-all be-all when it comes to passing judgment on video game battles. We are just three guys with a passion for video games and implied violence. So, we'd like to extend the gavel to you, trusty listeners, to help weigh in on what we call the Audience Head-to-Head. The Audience Head-to-Head is brought to you by Chef Darlene's Instant Thanksgiving. Just pour the powder onto a flat surface and snort it up. The next thing you know, a full Thanksgiving meal will be made and you won't remember the last 8 hours. Chef Darlene's. Yum yum.
Chef Darlene's Yum Yum Nose Candy.
Last episode we asked, what Pikmin is best? Was it red, blue, or yellow?
God.
And the winner, by a vast margin, was the Underwater Master, Blue. Congrats, I guess.
By a vast margin?
75%.
Yeah, it was like 70-something%.
Why?
Yeah, red got
I don't even know.
Red got 0 votes. I don't know why. Anyway, this episode, we ask you to decide. Wait, what's this? It looks like a request for an audience head-to-head, and this is coming from our very own Luke. It says, hypothetically, what would be the best AI supporting character from video games to base a real android off of? If you could theoretically ensure that they probably wouldn't go all Skynet on you. Is it GLaDOS or Cortana? But seriously, I need an answer quickly. I'm running out of time. Hypothetically, that is.
So specific.
You can find our poll on social media or reach out directly and help us answer this burning question.
Why does it feel like our fate is in the audience's hands right now?
I don't
know. That wasn't ominous at all, right?
Yeah.
It seems like a simple question.
Completely hypothetical.
Come on. There's no long-term ramifications of the answers to these questions. It's just fun.
No, absolutely not. It's not like we base the future of our reality on any of this or anything.
One of them is, the supporting woman behind a man who saved the universe, so she had a hand in saving everything that existed. And the other one is the most evil AI robot ever known to man. So it's a fun question. Go ahead, audience.
Yeah, but they said it probably wouldn't go Skynet. So, I mean, that kind of balances the scales, right? Anyway, man, I've got this rumbly in my tumbly. Oh, a vending machine. I'll be right back.
What? No, dude, no. Lunch? What are you doing?
Oh, dude, I got a sweet tooth, and this gift from God has chocolate keys for only $20?
No, dude. I've told you, not everything in a vending machine is food.
Yeah, I'll say. Who likes their chocolate this hard and metal?
Didn't you listen to a single word that guy said? Those keys, they open the loot boxes, dude.
Oh, yeah, the doy.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so the food's in there!
Whoa, what the fuck was all that?
I don't know. I put this key in, and then the gold and purple stuff just started shooting out. It must have been, spring-loaded or something.
No, dude, we were supposed to be shipping these, not opening them.
Yeah, but they said they were full of junk food, and I got the rumblies.
He said they were full of junk, not junk food.
Oh, yeah? Then why did it shoot out this pile of chocolate gold coins, and chocolate diamonds, and chocolate Microsoft stocks?
No, that's not chocolate, that's... Oh, holy shit, these are real. What the hell?
They are? Well, I mean, I guess technically he said 99% of it was junk, so I think he won.
I'm a winner. Again.
Huh.
Yeah, we are definitely not supposed to open these.
Yeah, the box, seemed to disappear, so maybe nobody will notice one little box missing. Maybe we're good.
Whoa, what was that? Hey, where's JB?
Yeah. Whoa, wait, yeah. Oh, no. We need to find him. No, this is bad.
Oh my god, there's so many boxes.
Jake, help me.
He's here somewhere. All right. Look.
JB? JB, put the keys down. Come here.
Punchy, kicky, smack 'em with a stick. Love and friendship sure makes us sick. Karate chop, elbow chop, with those nerdy glasses. We've got to get to work, so move your asses. Delivering loot crates all across the world. The bombs and lasers to all the boys and girls.
Go ahead, pay for another one, you chump.
Pay to win your way out of that slump.
Hello again, it's me, Don Margarine, and I'm excited to tell you about a new line of fabulous products being introduced to the Don Margarine family. Put your kids to bed for this one, folks, because it's about to get slippery in here. That's right, I'm proud to introduce Late Night Dawn, a family of products for all the mommies and daddies out there, all made from Don Margarine's 100% authentic farm fresh butter. Up first, we have Dawn Glide, a gluten-free, 100% organic-based butter lubricant for people who want to share our authentic greasy feel with a loved one all week long. Honestly, it's impossible to wash out. Next, we have the Butter Daddy. The focus groups have spoken, and they determined we should make a stick of Don Margarine butter with haptic feedback for some reason. So we stuck 6 of those little gyro-majigs right up in there. I have no idea how you're supposed to eat it though. Someone's gonna chip a tooth. Finally, I'm excited to introduce Dawn's Garlic and Herb Body Butter for those who want their significant other to smell like dinner. You can find all these fabulous products at your local mom and pop sex store. Now, back to the show.
Today we're bringing Floppy back. That's right, we're looking at 2 games with some of the most floppy characters around, Human Fall Flat and Totally Reliable Delivery Service. These games will have you fighting your floppiness and frustration, wishing that you could just get it up on top of that platform so you can unlock the next area. But which game will take the title of Harbinger of Floppy Physics? Find out now on this episode's Head-to-Head Showdown.
Our first contender in tonight's matchup is Human Fall Flat. It's a solo indie release by No Breaks, a developer with the perfect name for having made a train wreck of a game. But it's not to be confused with No Breaks, the name of EA's official crunch time and maternity policy. Fuck EA, Buck Spray. This is a floppy bumpy, climby jumpy, multiplayer physics puzzle game with art direction that is so simple and minimal that it makes an expensive brand designer do something vague and obscure all over themselves. In this game, you'll play as a human who does a lot of falling onto things that are flat. Human Fall Flat. It's the bare minimum, folks. You'll start off by customizing your floppy dude with a wide range of simple yet comical costumes that always end up being completely mismatched. And afterwards, you'll be dropped into a sandbox of a map that's filled with more boxes than sand, and quite literally dropped from about 20,000 feet up. The gameplay is best described as mixing amateur parkour with muscle relaxers while getting lost in strange places. So, the kind of stuff you normally do with your friends. When you're not jumping on each other's heads, you'll be spending all your time derping around the obstacle course-like maps, solving puzzles by pulling switches, dragging boxes, moving rocks, and occasionally stopping to grab the wall so that you may shake it like you're trying to make your ass fall off. Because when it comes to awkward, bumbling, clumsy movements, the twerk is king.
All right, my humans, let's start this off tonight with Human Fall Flat. Now, to set the stage for anyone who hasn't played it yet, just picture a single-player or multiplayer experience, you can play it either way, where you traverse puzzle-like environments trying to get to the end as a floppy dude that you can control his arms, and it ties in a really interesting physics. There's a really interesting physics to it. It's really realistic. If you're into puzzles, this is the game for you. But let's get some first impressions. First, flipping a coin. Here it is. It's landed on its side. Oh my God, JB. First impressions.
Hell yeah. I'm a winner again. Oh man, I just can't stop. I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm not a fan of puzzles. But
they're too spooky.
No, they're not spooky. I've never liked puzzle mechanics in games. It always feels like it takes away from the main game. Like, like Tomb Raider, things like that, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm a badass and I'm going through this tomb and I'm going to raid it. Oh, but wait, I need to solve this puzzle first and make light bounce off mirrors. And it just seems like more of a filler than anything else. But I gotta say, I liked these puzzles. And that, I think that says a lot, especially from someone who doesn't like these types of games. Like, if I said that a horror game was my favorite game of the year, I think that means it would be a really, really good game. Because I hate those. So, yeah, it was just good. I mean, it's a good, solid game. And I think because the puzzles are the main mechanic, it moves the game along rather than feeling like you have to take a break to solve a puzzle. It's more like you're solving this puzzle because that's the game. I don't know how to explain it better than that.
Right. Okay, Cowboy, first impressions.
This game is great multiplayer. Playing this game 2 people is the way to go. The puzzles are neat. I like them because the idea of a puzzle is for you to feel stupid for a while. It's like, I'm playing Resident Evil, I'm at the puzzle part, time to feel stupid for a little bit till I figure this out. But with this game, you're supposed to be stupid. You embrace the stupid. You're a stupid, floppy little dude. Go ahead and go be stupid for a while, and you'll eventually just find the answer to the puzzle, and you'll just be having fun while you're doing it. It's like, I don't know, it's very like instinctual to me, and the puzzles were really fun. Because, like, you run into this equipment, you run into boats, you run into stuff that you don't even think the game could do. And you're like, are they going to let me drive this right now? They are. I was really surprised sometimes by it.
See, okay, so I kind of had the opposite impression, specifically thinking that the game is silly and stupid. Now, this is going to sound probably stupid. The first time that I ever played the game, it was actually a while ago. I was at your house. You showed me it. Mm-hmm. I tried jumping around. I didn't know the controls. It was frustrating. I was like, fuck this game. So when we picked it back up for this episode, I actually played both of these games the entire 2 weeks with my son. So I played these games with a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
As my partner. Both of them. Very unique experiences there. But it gave me time to sit and reflect on this game, because I was playing with another person, but I had to do the work, and I had to think about stuff, and I got to just sit there and watch as he like tore stuff up. This game is subtly, kind of intellectually brilliant. I know that sounds stupid and like presumptuous, but Human Fall Flat is all about humanity. It's about the human condition, and it's about human ingenuity. All these themes and all these levels that you go through and all the puzzles are all about the advancement of human ingenuity. The game employs multiple simple machines, pulleys, cantilevers, wheels, things like that, and also walks you through the very basic simple machine concept all the way to current stage or late stage like technologies of a lot of things, of like construction, of like wind, of water, of harnessing water, like hydroelectric dams, things like that. When I played this game, I was like, holy shit, this is a tribute to being human. It's not just a floppy do thing, it's a tribute to being human, and I absolutely loved it. And the gameplay reflects in that, for me, honestly.
Right. Okay, you're saying in a minimized and simple sense, it reflects grand ideas of
Absolutely.
like human engineering and like what we went through, but in the most simplest, basic, like stripped down to the core elements way. I think I can really agree to that. And I think I felt that when I was going through, because I'm like, oh, here are ways in which I could use water, which is the same ways humans had to figure it out. And then bulldozers and different technology. Yeah, I think you're spot on.
Yeah, I definitely didn't pick up on that as I was playing through it. I was just like, oh yeah, here's some puzzles. It's fun. Go around this thing. But I mean, they take you from medieval ages all the way to modern day. And what you're saying is 100% accurate. Even if I don't think we're just reading too far into it. I think that was the intention. And if we did a bunch of research, I'm sure we would find out that's the case. But it's so obvious because the entire idea of being these floppy meat sacks who can barely walk and stand up and get around, I mean, that's just true life. And yet we put people on the moon. Yet we create these amazing machines. Yet we do all this stuff. Like, we're idiots. And we're like, we can't lift our head. We're the worst babies out of all the animals.
Yeah.
We're just dumb, and we're slobs, and we're fat, and we're lazy. And yet, look at everything we just did. Like, looking back on history. And that's, I mean, there's something to say about that. We fall flat, but we get back up, and we finish what we're doing just by brute force.
Oh, you tied it all together in some beautiful imagery.
I love that. I love that. Now, okay, let's talk about how it actually feels to play this game. So, how do you guys? How's this game feel? Do you think it masterfully executes the genre, the floppy physics dude genre that it sits in?
I think it does, although I think yes, because the floppiness is about how much, and this sounds so simple, but how much they just wiggle around. There's something about it, and I was trying to think about it today, like, because it's just a feeling of, like, they flop around. Like, I think everyone just calls it, like, a floppy dude game. Yeah. Kind of like how, what's the other one? Fall Guys, another fall game. Fall Guys has floppy dudes, and we just know intrinsically there's something weird about those physics. Mm-hmm. This one does it. It's a little less floppy and a little more wiggly. Like, they wiggle around, and they do kind of flop. But now that I've played some other ones, I was like, do they have the most flop? I don't know. They might have been the original flop. For the most flop?
Yeah, I don't know.
Time will tell.
I don't know if they have the most flop. So in Human Fall Flat, the physics in this game is purposefully very realistic, and I've noticed that when your guy walks around, they purposely bumble the character. So when you're trying to lift blocks and things like that, it's very clumsy, and you have to.
Yes.
One of the main obstacles in this game isn't necessarily the puzzles all the time. It's actually fighting against realistic physics and a floppy character, a floppy, like, I don't know, character skeleton. It's really weird. Like, the most frustrating things that ever happened to me in this game wasn't like hitting a brick wall on a puzzle.
Yeah.
It was just the weird shit that your little dude would do on trying to do the small stuff. Like, I found out that you actually had to sit still. Like, it was to the point where you had to take a breath and sit still and wait for you to do the stop wiggling, just to, like, slot in a piece of wood somewhere, things like that. I did find that pretty frustrating at times, but I think that's actually a staple of the genre.
It's how you balance. You got to make them floppy enough and kind of janky enough that it's funny and fun and cute and adorable and ambly and all those words, but then it also can't interfere too much, which I'll talk about with the other game, but there is this sense of you start to get frustrated with how unprecise the controls are.
Yeah.
So, with this one, yeah, that did come up, like, especially because you can't really climb. In this one, like, you can jump, grab a wall, and you better hope you grab the top ledge, because there's not a lot of advanced techniques to this game.
No, there really isn't.
There are a few. I don't know if they were patched out, but I remember back when I first played this game, I watched a couple speedruns, and there were a few ways that you could actually climb a straight up wall and make progress upwards.
Yeah.
And it had to do with, like, flicking the camera and doing very precise button presses, and then you could get your guy to, like, basically climb. I didn't have any success with that. What you're saying is 100% correct, that as a layperson, I could not, if you didn't get your arms above the horizon, you could not get on top of that.
Yep.
But at the same time, it was a lot of fun just to mess around on that. So the level is floating in air, right? And there is a plate underneath the entire level. And you can actually get underneath that and hold on to the bottom of the map. And I had so much fun because I also played with my son, and it would take a while for him to get up to where we were. in certain situations. So I would just jump off the edge and do funny stuff while I was waiting. And one of the things I just loved doing was trying to monkey bar underneath the map completely and trying to like use the momentum and the wiggliness to your advantage. It was hard, and it wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a lot of fun.
It actually is a good plus to it in that trying to circumvent and break what they want you to do and finding new ways, I think they're okay with it, and I think you can do it, which is fun. Like, breaking the game is always a fun part of the game. Like, for example, there's these walls. Like, because it's like an isometric level, some of the walls just end at thin air, and you can just go around them. You can literally just go up to the edge of the map where it's not there's no invisible wall. It's just air that's the edge of the map. And I would just lean around and grab the other side and just be like, screw the door I got to figure out how to open. I'm just going to reach around and pull myself to the other side. I was like, this looks like a major oversight.
Right.
But it was fun.
That's one thing I did like compared to normal, like, I guess puzzle games or, get from point A to point B games. They did have quite a bit of flexibility.
It was a good sandbox.
Mm-hmm. You could do stuff that wasn't necessarily intended, but it's not disallowed because, right. I mean, that's the whole point of the game is human ingenuity. So they allow that, and they allow it to continue because that's kind of part of it. And I would not be surprised if some of those were design choices.
I think they actually absolutely were. I saw that they described this as an open-ended puzzle game. So they basically built scenarios within this world, and it's more like, here's scenarios around here, have fun getting through them, that's it. They absolutely intended you to get creative and get weird with it. The game will actually, in certain points, give you like achievements for skipping levels or skipping like segments and stuff. Neat. So in the Aztec one, I rode the boulder all the way down and caught a wall. And as soon as I did it, I got a rare achievement. I was playing it on Xbox. And I got one of those rare achievements with a diamond. And it was like 0.1% of the people who played this ever did this. I was like, woo! So yeah, it actually like, it acknowledges when you do things like that. In another level, like the construction level, it gave me an achievement for going, quote unquote, the wrong way. When I actually like scaled on top of a building and skipped half the construction level. But like, I think they applaud you for doing it.
Yeah. It reminds me almost a bit of like, I want to say Scribblenauts.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's an obvious answer. It's the Family Feud answer. It's the top 5 on the board everyone knows. But the game also really allows for these obscure answers, and you're rewarded by them paying off very creatively. And in this game, I think that was the thing they did. They were like, all right, here's the obvious answer, but hey, it's up to you, man. This is just here in case you need it and you can't figure it out. So that kind of like soft push, but like do what you want kind of design. I think that's really cool. That's a huge plus.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything that this game particularly does bad?
The controls and stuff can be a bit frustrating, like ambling. Like sometimes even to get your guy moving is like starting up a Gundam, like and take the first step, put coal in the fucking reactor, like just go. I just need to get places, especially when you like fall or something and you got to get back up somewhere. It's tedious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But again, I wonder if that's a part of the genre. But that's no excuse, right? It might be a staple of the genre, but is that a fault of the entire genre? Is that something that if the genre didn't lean so hard on, would it be better or worse? Because really the only frustrating part that I ever experienced in both these games is the controls were so bad sometimes.
Right. It's always controls and stuff that you feel like isn't really your fault. You're like, just go, just do the thing, whatever thing you want to happen. Like, I'm doing my part, game, do your part.
Yeah. And like the camera movements and stuff would get weird and stuck, and you couldn't see where you were going sometimes. That was a little bit frustrating, but like you both were kind of saying, that's just what I would expect from the genre. And I mean, this defined the genre, really.
It did.
Yeah. So it is what it is, and I came in expecting exactly what I got. I will say the only parts that really bugged me to where I got annoyed were twofold. One is scenarios where you had to time things. So you had to be able to jump and land on like a boat that was traveling through the water, and you had to do it. Otherwise, you had to wait for like 90 seconds for the next boat to come around, and then you had to try again. And trying to do that with the second part of my issue was in multiplayer with my son was even worse, because not only did I have to do it once, but then my son couldn't do it, so he would give me his controller, and then I'd have to do it twice. And it was just super frustrating because it's like, oh, I'm the one that needs to be able to do this, and I'm having trouble with it. And trying to get that both times, it was rough. Yeah. I think single player or playing with somebody who is a little bit older and more experienced would have removed some of that frustration, but it got hard.
That's that DLC, that having kids DLC.
Oh, yeah.
It adds a few laughs, but man, does it up the difficulty.
Do you know what I did to circumvent that? So playing with my son, we would go to a new area, we'd explore it, he'd have a lot of fun, I would help him like figure stuff out, and he'd have a lot of aha moments. But when he would get stuck with something, I'd be like, go try this, and then I would run it real quick, and then I'd tell him to jump off.
Yeah, we did that too. But there's certain situations in multiplayer where maybe I was doing it wrong, but it seemed like you needed both people to do something. Like you needed one person to push a button so another person could walk through the door or whatever.
Oh, I assume that it's all the same levels. Do the levels change for multiplayer?
I feel like it's been a bit, but I feel like when I played it with my wife, like we played all the way through, like almost in a single sitting. I think I remember there were certain things that took two of us, or at least maybe that's an option, and there could be a way to do it with one. But I swear I remember certain stuff where we had to work together.
Yeah,
right.
So
like buttons that you had to push so that somebody could walk through the door.
Right.
But then in other situations, you could put, like if you were playing single player, you could put a crate on the button.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of idea. And maybe we're just overlooking something, but I feel like you might be right.
Okay. Well,
and when I played this with Jack, it's funny, I didn't have the experience you guys had. I had a worse one because he refused to jump off the edges.
I mean, he wanted to do the
stuff. Yeah, he wanted to do the stuff that Dada did, and so I had to take 5 minutes for me to do it and 30 minutes for him to do it. It was brutal.
Yeah. Okay, let's cover the most important question of all that we always have to cover. What matters? First, is this a good puzzle game?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say it is a... what is the word I want to say here? I think it's very strong because it's ingenious. Words like creative, innovative. Yeah. Innovative is a great word. That's what I'm going to go with.
I think it's a good puzzle game, too. I really think their use of real-world technologies, that is simple machines that rely on physics.
They give you a fucking forklift at one point.
They do.
Straight up.
They do that, yeah. Just real-world simple machines with real-world physics that allow you to solve puzzles. I thought that was really smart. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of fun solving the puzzles in this. What do you think, JB?
I agree. I mean, it's one of the only puzzle games I've ever liked.
Right,
so,
right.
100%. I mean, any puzzle game that gives you a trebuchet,
yeah.
I'm down for it.
That was awesome. That was super awesome. Okay, and
launching the stones and then looking at yourself like, oh my god, I can get in that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't launch a single stone. I jumped right in, I pulled the lever, off I went.
Of course.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Okay, and you know what? I think I already know the answer to this. Is it fun?
Oh. Well, yes, for me it's fun. Now, certain people might play it, and the pace could be a little bit slower. You know, it's not a run in, get stuff done kind of game. You amble, you wander, you bumble. So is it hyper-paced fun? Some people may say no. I say yes. I may have a quick speed, but this is just fast enough for me.
I agree. I think it's fun. I kind of disagree on one point, though, and I think you can go fast if you're wanting to. Like, if you just want to beeline it straight, go for it. You can throw yourself in that trebuchet, jump over the wall, open a door, off you go, get in the boat. But if you want to have fun with the environments and the situations they put you in, you can do that too. So I think they struck a balance between people who have fun by completing the missions and people who have fun by ignoring the missions.
Yeah.
I think they did that pretty well.
I feel like you could say the same thing about a museum, and one of the answers would be right. You can speedrun a museum. Just fucking run by those paintings and be like, ooh, that was cool. It's got to be experienced.
All right, that was Human Fall Flat, a deceptively ingenious puzzle game that defined the floppy dude genre. However, it has frustrating controls and can be tedious to play at times. Cowboy, take it away.
Our second contender in tonight's matchup is Totally Reliable Delivery Service, another first and only indie release, this time by Were5 Games, the developer so immature and juvenile that they got tired of being asked, "What are you, 5?" and just made it their name. Don't believe me? There is a dedicated button for passing out and farting in this game. Well played, guys. This is a stumbly bumbly, wonky bonky, plane crashing, package smashing, chaotic parcel delivery game where every character looks and moves like a drunk toddler with a loaded diaper. Seriously, the booty jiggles for like a full 5 seconds after you stop moving. It's a jank-filled romp where things are meant to go wrong, at least that's what they told us. You'll do more clipping and colliding than a freeway full of women. Ha! Misogyny. In this game, you'll be lifting and hauling packages with so much frustration and difficulty, it's like God cursed you with baby hands to go with your baby body, along with making you work for the Postal Service. Once the package is loaded, you'll be flying, driving, boating, and space shuttling, but mostly crashing across the wacky map that's filled with tons of physics-based gadgets and amusements to distract you from that ever-so-important Rubik's Cube that you were delivering to a bird's nest up in a tree. This must be how the guy who handles JB's Amazon Prime deliveries feels. Ha! Misogyny.
All right, my dudes, let's talk about Totally Reliable Delivery Service. To set the stage for this one, this is also a floppy physics dude-based game. However, it pretty much dials everything up to 11. Everything is for the laughs, the gags. The game's just a tiny bit glitchy sometimes. Things explode around you. You get stuck in stuff, and the floppiness, oh my god, the floppiness in this game. You can go wild. It's like the antithesis of Human Fall Flat. They just pushed the envelope all the way to the other side with this game. Cowboy, let's get your first impression with this one.
This game delivers.
Oh man.
Period. End of my review. No, first impressions on this. It was, at first I thought it was like kind of weird and bad, but the more I played it, the more I liked it. And the best part about this game is the vehicles. You can have so much fun in the vehicles. And the second best part is the distractions. Things that don't even matter to the core gameplay. They just load this stuff with toys. Like, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
They put in like little mini challenges. They put in like snowboards places and umbrellas, and it's just loaded. It's a sandbox full of toys. Am I right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I felt the same way. It was like playing this game. I don't really care about the game so much as I care about the toys. I think that is
the deliveries you don't care about.
Right, like the deliveries and, unlocking things. It was just to get more toys. I ignored the intended, and I mean, honestly, they knew what they were building. So what I was doing was the intended pathway, but it wasn't what was coded in the game to be the intended progression through the game. So going around that and just playing in the sandbox and picking up fire extinguishers that take you straight to the moon. You can go so much higher than you think you should, and you come flying down onto the ground. And it's just the physics in this game were not realistic.
No,
and
not at all.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it's side quest. You play the side quest and then, the toys, the extra stuff, and then I will do the main thing, deliveries, as like a little break from, doing the not purpose of the game. Let me take a little break, do a delivery. All right, let's get back to the toys. And 2 hours later, I would be like, I haven't done a single delivery. What have I been doing?
Yeah.
What verbs have I been performing? I don't even know what I've been doing for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You can get lost in it.
Sometimes when I play this game, I forget that you can perform deliveries for sure.
Yeah.
But I meant what I said about this game. It's like it's the totally opposite of Human Fall Flat. Human Fall Flat is narrow. It's focused. It's goal driven. You're in little scenarios. You know what you must do to proceed to the next one. Totally reliable delivery service. Threw that out the window. It's a game that says, here, deliver packages, but you don't have to. You could just play if you want. You can just do this if you want. You can just fuck around for hours if you want. Realistic physics? Nah, we don't have them.
No. Who dat?
Set pieces with moody music? Nah, we pump the jams. And we play just buck wild music while you get down to it. It does everything the exact opposite, which isn't a bad thing. This game is just fun. I will say that I have played this a lot. I've played this a lot. I play this a lot with my son. My whole family, in fact, plays this. And comparing playing Totally Reliable Delivery Service to playing Human Fall Flat, Human Fall Flat was a lot of focused stuff. My son was trying to figure things out. He was learning things, which was cool in its own right. In Totally Reliable Delivery Service, it's laughing. It's gut laughing. Just busted a gut over and over and over.
Yeah.
When dumb, silly things happen. I even let my mom play it, who doesn't play video games. I handed her the controller and I said, get to it. And she was losing her mind too. Everyone who plays this game that I've sat with just laughs and laughs and laughs and laughs. And it's its main strength. It's such a feel-good game. And for that, in a way, it's amazing.
Yeah, there's got to be an award we can give because we love these kind of games and we've played them. Cried laughing kind of games. Heave Ho. Heave Ho is a cried laughing kind of game. And the other party games we did, but you just know it when you play it and you're like, oh, this is the game you get together with people and you just die.
Yep.
You die playing. It's just a riot.
Yeah.
So yeah, this gets that, and a few times with my wife, probably because we were playing drinking. And so floppiness and having a few drinks, that got my seal of approval too. I remember that we stopped playing for 5 minutes just to crack up laughing. So both of them, but I think this one does it more often without being drunk with my child. Me drunk, not him.
And I think the thing that those games, all of those games that make us cry laughing have in common is typically they put us in funny scenarios, but allow us to work our way through it and in it and out of it and make our own jokes and fun. Yeah. And this game does that very well. I just wanted to share a couple things. When me and Cowboy played this, we played for, 3-4 hours. And at least half of that time was ridiculous. Just unbelievable. So one of the things we did was we had a photo shoot.
Oh my God, yeah.
Where
got a photo mode.
We put ourselves in weird situations and just took pictures. And we spent 30, 45 minutes getting the exact setup we wanted.
Oh my gosh.
Where Cowboy was laying on a bench and my character was under the bench looking up at him.
Okay.
Like a total creeper. We'll probably share this on Twitter or something.
We should definitely share it.
It was ridiculous. It was just unbelievable. And it took so long to get that picture. And one of the other things we did was we spent about an hour trying to do a perfect front flip.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We learned advanced movement techniques, and we learned to be able to launch ourselves, go into ragdoll mode, but also use our hands because you can hit Y to throw your hands in the air, and you can use that to control a bit of momentum. And so we had a mini session of trying to learn to parkour. There was a bit more movement control in this game compared to Human Fall Flat, where you could kind of finagle some stuff. And maybe you could do some cool Tony Jaa sequences or something, or some French parkour movie.
Well, I'm sure you could, because the camera had those filters on it. You could get the dark sort of film, cinema filter on there, and then go up next to somebody and watch them parkour off a building and do a flip. And
I'm doing all my college art movies in totally reliable delivery service from now on.
That's
Where
super
it says
cool.
Finn at the end.
Yeah, man. One of the games that I played with my son in this is, in the water area, there's a floating like wrestling ring.
Oh yeah.
We always go to that, and if you bounce along the opposite wall of it, you can push it towards the shore, and we'll jump on and we will just wrestle. We will grab each other and wrestle and just try to knock each other out of that ring. And we will do that forever. It's one of his favorite things to do in that game. We will beeline for that wrestling ring and just fight each other for a while.
Jack loves the cannons. He's always just wanted to stuff us both into the cannon and launch us. And he's obsessed with the ferry ship. It's called a ferry that goes around the island.
Yeah.
He always wants to chase it down with a speedboat and try to hop on it like Tom Cruise style from a moving speedboat.
Yes. Did you guys, either of you, invest in any of the DLC for it?
No.
Like the extra islands and stuff? So
I was having enough fun with what was already there. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, there was more than I would care to unlock in the main game.
Gotcha. Since we play it so often, and I mean, we've been playing it for months, really. I invested. I bought the 2 DLCs. One of them is called Cyberfunk or something like that.
Cool.
It's a floating like funk-inspired spaceship kind of island kind of thing in the sky. That one's actually super bland and boring, despite its theme, which totally sucks. There's another one called Stunt Sets, I think it is, and it's movie sets. That one delivers. That one has all sorts of cool toys that you can play with. Like Hulk hands, where, is it Hulk hands? Yeah, it's like Hulk hands where you can punch stuff or blast stuff with your hands. There's super boots that make you jump real high. There's wings. If you get the stunt sets, you can earn wings and actually fly in the game. It's super cool stuff. Yeah.
I thought, it's so funny that you had mentioned a certain area and right away I was like, oh, that place. Because I'm sure we've all crisscrossed the map so many times. I have it memorized. I can just picture that island as if I used to live there.
Yeah.
It's just burned in. I think that's kind of crazy. It's a testament to how much that game will have you running around just doing nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's such a big map, but at the same time, each individual environment is so unique. And it's not the individual environments are small enough that it doesn't become boring, but it's big enough that there's a lot of stuff to do in that area. So it's like the toys to land ratio is it's so good.
It's good, yeah. You'll be like, let's go snowboarding for a bit. Okay, I'm bored with that. Let's go over to the beach and mess with the crabs.
Yep.
You're always just thinking about the next thing to do. And I want to say a few good things about this, because compared to Human Fall Flat, the working vehicles, Human Fall Flat, being physics heavy, does have vehicles you can drive, and it's kind of wonky and you have to make it work and angle your guy. With this one, driving vehicles is perfect. They grab the thing and you just fly the planes. You don't have to finagle anything. As long as your guy's hand is on that joystick for the plane, he will fly it exactly how you want it. And I love that way more in this than I did Humans Fall Flat.
Yeah, it's surprisingly intuitive. All the vehicles, really.
Yeah, and they're interesting. They look like Legos. Lego, helicopters and stuff.
I will say, I mean, this isn't really a negative, but kind of. When you're playing multiplayer, trying to hold on to the helicopter or whatever while you're the second player is pretty difficult. It'll just freak out and do some weird stuff, and there's not a lot of easy handholds that are specifically made for the second player. And it causes some issues sometimes. I mean, the physics are so weird and janky sometimes where I was like, okay, well, there's no place for me to hold on, so I'm going to become a bike lock for this package that we're carrying. And I put my arms around the structural support of this vehicle and grab the box. So there's no way. I mean, my arms are the bike chain and they're locked to this box. And I still went flying out of that car with the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that part was a little bit annoying, but at the same time, when we're flying over the ocean and I fly out of it, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that when you want them to be fun, the physics are fun, but sometimes when you want them to be serious, the physics are still trying to fuck around and have fun, and you're like, can you focus? We're trying to do something here.
Yeah, like that last package you need before you unlock the rockets or whatever.
Yep. Oh, we struggled.
Well, let's touch on that. Let's touch on what the game does bad, and I think you're hitting the nail on the head there. They designed the game around, fun, wacky physics, things like that. But what they also created with floppy dudes and bad physics is incredibly frustrating situations sometimes where you clip through things, where you get stuck in things, where the simple act of jumping into a truck to drive it, your body will start flying back and forth like a metronome sometimes. It just does not let you do what you want. It's like the actual, character skeleton is in one place, but the model is like flying all over the place trying to compensate.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. There's a frame of reference and your body just flies around it way too wildly sometimes.
Can I say, the worst thing about this game that you're going to encounter is trying to get into vehicles, which does not make sense for a vehicle-based game. It is so frustrating to try to bullseye into them because the physics will wonk out and just send you right over the vehicle, as if it is swatting you away. And I think in the version, if you guys are playing the same as mine, it's trying to help you, kind of like aim assist does, trying to help you in. But the fact that you're trying to do it too, it's just too many cooks and it overshoots you.
That could be it.
Because in the latest version, if you stand next to the vehicle, you can just jump and it will home you into it. You'll jump up and it'll suck you into it. That's what I think they were going for.
That probably causes a lot of problems then. That's kind of what it feels like.
It
and
is.
Especially when you're trying to finagle your way out of a tipped over car, or you're trying to jump over the car or do something different with the car. That can actually cause a lot of issues, a lot of headache. And the glitching
or trying
too,
to do something cool.
Yes.
Jump from a moving vehicle to another one.
It won't let you sometimes,
yeah.
I
And
don't
it's
know how
easy
many
to get clipped into them.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I got stuck inside of trash cans, too. Or the dumpsters. The dumpsters you can push around. I would be playing with them, and my player 2 is driving around in the car, and I get sucked inside the dumpster somehow, and I'm just part of the dumpster, and they just push me around for 10 minutes with my head sticking out. Which can be
I got
fun.
stuck in so many things, and it was so weird how it all depended on my own personal frame of what I wanted to do or how I was feeling at that exact moment, whether I thought it was hilarious or annoying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was the same sort of mechanic. So when I first found a trampoline and I started jumping on it, I'm like, that's cool. And then I almost immediately got stuck in it. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But the moment I got stuck in a trash can or just the ground or a car, I was like, I can't get out. I can't get out of this ground. I'm stuck. And I was annoyed by it. But when I couldn't get out of the trampoline, I thought it was hilarious. It's very odd.
Yeah, that's that balance. And sometimes this game does not nail the balance. Sometimes it's a little too much on the wacky side.
Mm-hmm. It's like that guy who's always joking around, even at a funeral. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just
I get it. I get what you're
him.
saying. I get what you're saying.
This game is doing 5 minutes of stand-up at a funeral.
Yeah. It's like you know exactly what to expect, but in the wrong context, it can be a little...
I love that metaphor for it. I can just see it. He's really funny, but then I brought him to a funeral, and it's like, did a good 5 minutes on the deceased.
All right, well, let's talk about what matters. We've covered thoroughly whether the game is fun or not. Absolutely, this game is a blast to play. But one thing that should really matter or not, though, are the bad physics crippling the game?
What you're asking is it too floppy?
Is it too floppy? Are the physics too bad? Are its weird controls? It's weird physics where your body will fly around and get stuck in stuff, things like that. Is it too much?
If I could take this, I want to say it's a wild card because it depends on what you're going for. It really is just like a toss-up, because you could have a complete run in which everything goes great, you perform your cool little stunts and moves and never get stuck in anything. It's volatile. So yes, during certain moments, it is too much, and I felt that.
I agree. But I think at the same time, I don't know that I would correct it the other direction.
Yeah.
Because I think I would rather the game be too floppy than not floppy enough. Because most of the appeal and the fun of it comes from the floppiness and comes from the weird physics and all that kind of stuff. And if they toned it down so that, that one time out of the 10 times that you're in the vehicle and you actually want to make it work properly, if they tone it down so that time works well, the other 9 times just won't be as fun. I think overall, there's more benefit than there is consequence.
Yeah. I'd also say it's a little bit contextual because, like Frank, it depends on what you want. You got 4 guys getting online, you're doing a gaming night together, jank aplenty, go for it. Best floppy game that you can go in that case. But, if you want to sit down, relax after work, and do a very astute puzzle game, too much. So it depends on what you're in for, what you're going to use it as.
All right, so that was Totally Reliable Delivery Service. It's an absolute riot to play with friends and family. But the controls and the physics can get a little crazy.
Well, now we know what's good. You know what? Why am I even bothering?
What do you mean?
Come on in, Terry.
Knock, knock, knock.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, fellas. Is it time for me to share my art?
Yeah, it's the usual time that you'll come on in and stop my...
I guess we did.
Go ahead,
we did promise that you could come on last.
Oh, that's right.
Episode, so better late than never, man.
Absolutely, but I'm never late. I'm always punctual. Anyway, I'll just sit here. If you could scooch.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep. Just move up.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Here you go.
I've done something a little bit different for this story. It's not a story per se. It's rather a poem.
Oh.
Okay.
I could be into
Poems
that.
are nice.
I mean, poem is a pure art form, man. Okay.
A little bit of spoken word, if you will.
Oh.
JB, play me a bass line.
What? I don't...
All right. Names. I've had a few. Devil, Ripper, Snake. Those were tried and true. But there is one who knows me best. To her, I am simply the fitness gram pacer test. Wait, hold on. Sorry, that was my initial draft. Wrong page. Okay, here we go. Let me try that again. But my favorite name, when I look back, is the name she gave me. She called me Jack. She came to me at my low and raised me to new heights. Even though I was filled with woe, she had me in her sights. She came inside me like I was a window frame, and as much as I wish I could, I cannot say the same.
Sorry.
Our parts were made for interfacing, but not in that way, you see.
Oh, here it comes.
Oh.
We're more likely to do ray tracing than to play hide the cannoli. By now, you deserve the truth. I can hear those metal gears a turning. To her, I'm Jack, but to you, my name is Raiden.
Oh.
Names, I've had a few. Master Chief called me many. But I don't mind because now she's mine and that makes him super jelly. Cortana is like psilocybin. To underestimate that is a mistake. Because I've never met an AI who my snake could solid make.
Oh my god.
Okay, so usually your stuff makes me feel things. Not always good, but I'm just going to say it. I think you've improved a lot. That was sexy and provocative. I actually kind of like that one, Terry.
Oh, thank you. I've been practicing.
Yeah.
I can tell.
I dare say it might be art. It's good.
Well, of course. That's what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
certainly not. I mean, the slash fic, and you get it, right?
It didn't involve Donald Duck and with no pants and whatnot. It was good. I'm proud of you, Terry.
Yeah,
well,
man.
Thank
that was
you.
pretty
I
good.
appreciate it, fellas. All right. Well, I should probably get started on my next one. I have some big ideas. So I'll let you three get back at it. I know you got a lot of work to do. I can see you haven't made much progress with these boxes.
Yeah.
Not at all. All right. Bye, Terry.
Bye, fellas.
Bye, Terry.
Well, that was kind of fun. I mean, he did mention his cannoli, but compared to what he's read before, it's pretty clean.
Yeah,
so,
it could have been a lot worse, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, cannoli is a food, so, who knows? Probably proofread it, but let's go ahead and get to these trophies. What's good, what's bad, what matters. Let's start off with Jake.
Hey, it's me, your boy Jake, with the art trophy. Okay. So, today's art trophy isn't focusing on audio, visuals, or even story to determine the winner. Today, it's all about creativity. Totally Reliable Delivery Service provides the player with a sandbox full of color, punchlines, and cheerful music. It's an amazing game to play with friends and family, and it won't disappoint any group that plays it. However, as fun as that sandbox is, it's devoid of spirit. To use a popular turn of phrase, it's as wide as an ocean and as deep as a puddle. It's simply a backdrop for players to have fun in. On the other hand, Human Fall Flat is linear, focused, and smart with its physics-based puzzles. Those aren't the features I'm judging, however. What makes Human Fall Flat shine as a piece of art is its vision. Human Fall Flat pays tribute to human ingenuity with entire levels devoted to the progression of technologies and the use of simple machine concepts to show the player how it all started, whether they realize it or not. It's so subtly brilliant that I couldn't help but award Human Fall Flat today's art trophy.
Awesome. And I'm up next with the Fun Factor Trophy. Now, both of these games have a lot going for them in my mind. Human Fall Flat has these fun puzzles, cohesive levels, and just amazing physics to play around with. Turds, on the other hand, that's TRDS, Turds, has variety to the max. I mean, it's got this fun sandbox feel, and it just gives so much more creative control over to the player, rather than trying to shoehorn you into the proper method of doing things. For both of these games, the most fun I had was going against the intended, or what I thought was the intended gameplay, and making my own fun. One of these, however, did tailor that to me more, and gave me a massive variety of fun toys to play with how I saw fit. And for that reason, I'm going to give the Fun Factor Trophy to Turds.
And lastly, I'll take the Game Design Trophy. Now, both these games are designed to be weird, floppy, and a bit janky on purpose. It's a bit of their charm, but they're kind of in two different ways. So they have two totally different focuses. Humans Fall Flat is focused in what it does and it wants to accomplish something, and Totally Reliable Delivery Service is really only concerned about just giving you stuff to have fun with. It's kind of like one's a Broadway play that you go and see, and one is a daycare full of stuff to keep you entertained. Now, I like the level design and how they space out stuff in Totally Reliable Delivery Service. I think a lot of the stuff is well done and it has purpose. And while I like the level design and Totally Reliable Delivery Service, I think a lot of it, like Jake said, can be shallow. It needs a little bit more polish. They were a little too slapstick with it. And Humans Fall Flat suffers from the other issue, the complete opposite. One goes too wacky and one doesn't go wacky enough. But only one of them can win the design trophy. And so for its expertise, its focus, scope, and just the plain atmosphere that it provided on top of being a floppy dude game, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Human Fall Flat for the game design trophy. So those were the trophies for today's showdown, which show you where each game excels. But now it's time to cast our vote for the final winner for the title of Harbinger of Floppy Physics, Human Fall Flat versus Totally Reliable Delivery Service. Jake?
My vote's going to Totally Reliable Delivery Service.
JB?
I'm also giving it to turds.
And I'm going to give, for the floppiest physics, on over to Total Reliably Delivery. Unlike me.
Totally Reliably Diddly-doo.
And that's why I call it turds.
Play the fucking music.
Yay! Woo!
Well, there we go. Another... Can we call this one perfect?
It was a little floppy.
Yeah, we discovered imperfections are not so bad. So it was another imperfect podcast. And we really messed it up, which means it's quality. It's a fun time.
Absolutely. And thank you all for sending us questions through our social media. Of course, you can find us through Twitter, Instagram, and check out our website at head2headpod.com. That's the number 2. Or h2hpod.com for those of you who hate the letter E.
And as always, thanks to Metroid Mike for the use of our theme song, I Can't Break, off of the album Heart of the Juggernaut. You can check that out on Spotify. You can buy it at Bandcamp, and also check out his new project, Balefire, with their Signal, 2 Mimics to Midnight. It fucking rocks. Check it out, man.
And as always, I want to thank you all for listening. Every single listen and download helps us, and we couldn't have done it without you, the fans. I want you guys to continue to rate, subscribe, and review. Click every button that you can see. It really helps us out since we are still a fetus of a podcast. And speaking of which... of review, we had our $50 gamer gift cards for gamers, which was for our Apple reviews. We gave $50 to In a World of My Own 24 for giving us the best and funniest review on Apple. You guys stay tuned. We're going to do another giveaway at some point. Who knows? But stay tuned. Now stick around for the post-credit sequence and get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody!
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Or manana? Or manda. And done. Last delivery of the day going out now.
Wow, you loaded the rest of the boxes that quick?
Yeah, easy. I mean, once JB convinced me to untie him by saying he would load it all up while I took a nap, then it took no time at all.
Oh, yeah. And who knew there was only 12 boxes? I mean, ice can be so deceiving sometimes.
Cowboy, no. There were supposed to be hundreds on that delivery. JB, please tell me you didn't open all of them.
Don't worry. I won't tell you that's exactly what I did.
No,
oh,
JB.
Dude. Oh, my God.
Addiction is a disease, guys. It's not my fault. I mean, you wouldn't get mad at me for having polio, would you?
No, man. That's it. Give me the keys.
But that's my last one, and it's definitely a winner because process of elimination?
No, absolutely not. You are an addict, all right? And recovery starts now. Give Jake the key.
Fine, but I am not sharing my chocolate with you guys. Here.
There you go. You know, that took a lot of courage. I'm proud of you. Now come on. Let's go tie you to the radiator before the withdrawals kick in.
Okay.
Double knots this time. And hey, I'll catch up. I'm just going to get rid of this key.
All right, man. I will see you in a bit.
Well, last one. I guess if I use it, then it's gone for good. Suppose one more box couldn't hurt? Maybe. Oh. Oh man, yeah! Yeah!